Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop AFIX tutorials. This week we are looking at the Phoenix Raceway, so strap in and let's get to it. As always in these videos, I'll try to cover the shifting first. I think you're going to want to do this throughout the race. I think if you get a long run it might change, but for now, at least at the start, um, I'm downshifting into third gear going into turn 3 and shifting up into fourth around the start finish line. And then I'm holding it through fourth gear throughout turns 1 and 2. Uh, the reason I don't think you're going to want to use third even in traffic, because of the range of the gear, like you're on the chip before you even get to the exit of the corner. Plus, I think it's just going to spin the rear wheels and hurt your drive off. Where turn 3 here, if you try to leave it in fourth, it's harder to slow the car down on entry, but then it just bogs down quite a bit, and it makes your exit off of 4 really weak, which gives up a lot of speed and momentum down this front part of the racetrack. So, fourth gear off of turn 2 gives you a lot of good drive off. And then third gear exiting turns 3 and 4 doesn't bog down and gives you some good drive off with some stability. Uh, a lot of the way that you drive Phoenix, a lot of it has to do with your inputs. Here, very input sensitive. As you can see, a lot of trail brake going into 1 and 2. And then in 3 and 4, the moment you get to that yellow line, you want to start building the throttle. Okay, so a lot of initial brake going into turn 3, not as much going into turn 1. Turn 1 is more trail brake, so the techniques of this racetrack are different for each corner. You can see the amount of brake that I use on entry to 1 here compared to turn 3. Now, it's not graphically shown, but the PJ1 or grippy stuff or whatever you want to call it is in the second lane all the way up to the wall in 1 and 2, and I think it's in the third lane to the wall in 3 and 4. Either way, it's much slower to run up there in 3 and 4, but you're going to see people going all over the place in 1 and 2, all the way up to the wall. The trick that I can suggest is you want to be pointed as straight as possible off of turn 2 before you get full throttle. Okay. Um, if you're going to run the very bottom, say you have a restart and you're on the very bottom and you have to run the yellow line, be prepared to give up some spots. There's just not enough grip down there. There's not as much grip as there is in the second and third lane here at Phoenix. But this is the line. If you're by yourself, this is the line you're going to want to run. This is going to give you your best drive off. Okay. It hurts the tires a little bit, but I think the trade-off is, I don't think the trade-off is significant enough off of turn 2 to wrap. Okay. Um, if you are passing somebody and they're running up by the wall, it's a good thing to wrap because it's going to eliminate their ability to cut down as much. Okay, and as long as you're on the bottom of turn 3, you should be able to make the pass. But again, with how this car races, it's passing is difficult to begin with. I didn't do any laps on the yellow line I wanted to because it's very rare that you're going to do it, and if you are, you're just wrapping it. Okay, there's not much you can do. I don't want to say it's no man's land, but there is a very big significant difference in grip. Okay, and you will feel it. Uh, but the big thing in 1 and 2 is like you want that diamond. It's a double apex. You want to enter on the seam, you want to let the car slide up, and you want to exit on that seam. And if you get full throttle before the nose is pointed, brace yourself because it's going to hurt. That outside wall doesn't move. Okay, and then again, 3 and 4 is very, I don't want to say simple, but it's much more simplified than 1 and 2. Again, hard on the brakes. I'm li- from watching this, I'm lifting anywhere between the 3 and the 2 cone. I think that's a good spot. If you drive it any deeper, you're probably going to get loose. And the timing of your shift, if you downshift too soon, the rear end can step out because of all the revs. But again, the moment you get to that yellow line, you want to start building the gas. Okay, and when you start building the gas, remember you're in third gear, you're running a lot higher RPMs. Okay, so it's going to be easier to spin the wheels. You have to be gentle with the throttle. Okay, I'm not cutting below the white line on the dog leg. I don't really. if you're going to give up anything, it's going to be a few hundreds, but whatever's most comfortable for you. If you're comfortable cutting it lower, by all means cut it lower. As long as you can set yourself up for the entrance to turn one, just do what you think is comfortable. Okay? As you can see, right to the yellow line, we're going to build the throttle. And again, like I'm in clean air, so I don't think you're going to be able to get the power down as easy in traffic, but the technique is still very much the same. Um, Enter on the seam, let the car drift up, and then the initial throttle is what's going to help rotate the car. So you don't want to jump in the gas too hard too soon. You want to get that initial throttle to help rotate the car so you can point the car down the hill and then get full throttle. Okay, guys, one last thing I wanted to touch on real quick before I wrap this up is the amount of time I'm just letting the car roll in one and two. I think it's very important. It's very important to emphasize this when you're going through one and two. If you like, you don't want to be on the gas or on the brake. Okay, like get comfortable being off the gas and off the brake through one and two. Let the car roll, and when you feel comfortable, that initial throttle is what's going to help pivot the race car so you can get that straight line launch off of turn two. Okay, that was one of the bigger things I wanted to point out. Other than that, again, that'll just about do it for this video. If you find that it was helpful, please consider leaving a like. As always, if there's anything I may have missed or you want clarification on or any questions, comments at all, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll get to them throughout the week. And lastly, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you can see these videos every Monday when they're posted to the Maconi YouTube page. Alright guys, best of luck this week and we'll see it on the track.